Why Bitcoin is bound to crash. The truth. No one wants to admit Bitcoin is worshipped as the future of finance, the so-called people's money. It's sold as the golden ticket to financial freedom, a decentralized utopia free from government control. Sounds too good to be true. Well, maybe that's because it is too good to be true. No one in the crypto world wants to admit this, but Bitcoin is on a path to failure. That's right, Bitcoin isn't going to last, and it's time to face the uncomfortable truth before it all comes crashing down. Bitcoin has no real value, and it never did. The biggest scam that Bitcoin advocates push is that it's a store of value like gold. Here's the harsh reality. Bitcoin is backed by nothing. It's not tied to any physical asset, it has no inherent value, and it's only worth what people are willing to pay for it. You know what that means? It's one giant speculative bubble, just waiting to pop. You're betting that someone else will pay more for your Bitcoin than you did. That's not revolutionary finance, that's a glorified Ponzi scheme. Governments are coming for Bitcoin, and they'll win! Cryptocurrency fans love to brag about Bitcoin being free from government interference. What they conveniently ignore is that governments are not going to sit back and let an unregulated, anonymous currency take over the financial system. Countries like China are already shutting Bitcoin down, banning mining and transactions. And you think the US or Europe won't follow? Once governments start rolling out their own digital currencies, with the backing of central banks, Bitcoin will become irrelevant. The law will crush crypto, and the so-called financial revolution will be over before it even begins. Bitcoin is an environmental disaster, and no one wants to talk about it. Let's get real. Bitcoin is an energy-guzzling monster. Mining Bitcoin consumes more electricity than entire countries. If you care even a little bit about the environment, you can't ignore this. With climate change at the forefront of global issues, how long do you think governments, regulators, or even the public are going to tolerate a digital currency that's actively damaging the planet? There's no way around it. Bitcoin's environmental impact is a ticking time bomb, and it's only a matter of time before the world turns against it. Slow, expensive, and outdated Bitcoin can't compete. Bitcoin might have been groundbreaking in 2009, but today, it's a dinosaur. Transaction speeds are slow, fees are ridiculous, and the system can't handle mass adoption. Meanwhile, other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Solana, and Cardano are racing ahead with faster, cheaper, and more efficient technologies. Let's be clear, Bitcoin is the MySpace of crypto. A pioneer, sure, but its moment is passing. The tech world moves fast, and Bitcoin is getting left behind. Whales control Bitcoin, you're just a pawn. Here's a dirty little secret. Bitcoin is not decentralized. A tiny number of whales, massive holders of Bitcoin, control the majority of the supply. These whales can manipulate the market anytime they want, crashing prices or inflating them with a few keystrokes. And what about you, the regular investor? You're just a pawn in their game. The idea that Bitcoin is some sort of democratized financial system is laughable. It's a rigged game, and unless you're a whale, you're not in control. Market hype is Bitcoin's lifeblood, and it's fading. Let's be honest, Bitcoin's value is driven by hype. Every price surge, every media frenzy about the next all-time high brings in new, naive investors hoping to strike it rich. But once the excitement dies down and people start realizing there's nothing holding up the price except blind speculation, what do you think happens next? The bubble bursts, just like it has multiple times already. And next time, it might not recover. The day the hype dies, so does Bitcoin. Central bank digital currencies will bury Bitcoin. The crypto crowd loves to talk about how Bitcoin is a threat to fiat currency. But here's what they're not telling you. Governments around the world are working on their own digital currencies. These central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, will offer everything Bitcoin claims to: fast, secure digital transactions, but with actual backing and government support. Once CBDCs roll out, why would anyone risk their money on an unstable, unregulated, volatile asset like Bitcoin? The future of money might be digital, but it won't be Bitcoin. Security? Not as safe as you think? Bitcoin's blockchain might be secure, but the entire ecosystem around it is a mess. Crypto exchanges are hacked regularly, people lose their entire investments to scams, and the irreversible nature of Bitcoin transactions means once it's gone for good. These risks are enough to make any serious investor think twice. As the scams and hacks pile up, Bitcoin's reputation takes another hit, and one day it might not recover. The cult of Bitcoin is driving it off a cliff. Bitcoin isn't just a currency. For many, it's a religion. But that's exactly the problem. When people stop thinking critically and treat Bitcoin like some divine entity that will always rise in value, they ignore the warning signs. This blind faith is going to lead to disaster. The more people buy into the myth of Bitcoin as an infallible asset, the harder they'll fall when reality sets in. And make no mistake, reality will set in. The crash will come sooner than you think. Some people say Bitcoin is too big to fail. They couldn't be more wrong. Remember, we've seen this movie before, with the dot-com bubble, with housing, with countless financial bubbles throughout history. The bigger they get, the harder they fall. And get Bitcoin? It's already showing cracks. Prices are unstable, regulatory pressure is increasing, and the market's enthusiasm is waning. It's not a question of if Bitcoin crashes, but when. And when it does, a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money. The clock is ticking for Bitcoin, so what's next? You can continue riding the Bitcoin hype train, pretending everything is fine, or you can face the facts. Bitcoin is built on shaky foundations, no intrinsic value, massive energy consumption, a rigged system controlled by whales, and mounting regulatory threats. The writing is on the wall. Bitcoin is heading for a crash, and when it comes, the fallout will be brutal. Don't say you weren't warned. If this opened your eyes or got you thinking, don't forget to like this article and hit subscribe for more insights on the world of crypto and finance. Let's keep this conversation going. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Bitcoin will survive, or is the crash inevitable? Let me know what you think.